Let the minutes reflect that this meeting has been duly called and that the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act. The time is now 9:30 a.m. We will begin with item 1, which is the roll call to establish quorum.
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Eli Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, and will you please lead us in prayer?
Judge, if I may, right before prayer, Ms. Carolina, could you announce about our translation services?
Esta corte en este momento comienza su traducción en español y si necesitan algún tipo de información tenemos los audífonos atrás.
Thank you.
I could have done it.
I'm joking.
Boy from Alabama?
Yes, sir. All the way. All right, let us pray.
Go Tech.
Father God, again, we give you many thanks, Lord, for another day that you've allowed us to come serve, Lord. We continue to pray for this elected body that you've appointed, Lord, the judge and 4 commissioners, Lord. Continue to provide your wisdom to them, Lord, and continue to watch over them, bless them. And not only that, Lord, but provide them with your peace, Lord, as they continue to make the decisions that affect us all, Lord. And I ask for the same for myself, for all the leadership of our great county, Lord, and all our workers as well as, and also as we lift up our veterans today, Lord, as we will recognize them later on today, Lord. We pray for them to watch over them, Lord, and the service that they provided, but not only them, Lord, their families as well, Lord. And we pray for all the servicemen that are serving here in the state of Texas, in our nation, and abroad, Lord. Watch over them, keep them safe, Lord, and we just, again, give you praise for all that you allow us to do. Just continue to be with us, Lord, and guide us in all our decisions. I ask this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Do we have anybody sign up for open forum?
We do have one participant, Judge. Under Drainage District, we have one participant. I'll remind the audience that there's a 3-minute time limit. And please respect the speaker's time at the podium, and I'll advise when there is 1 minute. Our speaker is Ms. Marta Sanchez.
Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. This morning I just wanted to thank you for, especially Mr. Cecine and Mr. Salazar, for the inclusion of in the meeting that they have over the Drainage Advisory Board. That is really helpful for us advocates of the Comelonias to be present, to know what's going on with a whole spirit of transparency and accountability. Because when people gets flooded, they want to know what the county is doing about it. And I think that this is a really good step on your part to make this government more accountable and more transparent, to include people like us in these committees so we can take this information to the communities who get affected and could typically are not here present to know what is going on. So thank you so much, Mr. Cecine, Mr. Salazar, for including us and for having these meetings, even if it's not as often, but at least we know how the projects are going, how do we spending the bond money, and what projects are done and what projects are still pending. This is super important because next time that we need a bond, we need to keep this community informed and educated on how to use spending the money. So we just wanted to thank you for that opportunity, and hopefully we'll continue to be part of this and we'll continue to have these meetings so we can be transparent to our communities. Thank you so much.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. On the consent agenda, Judge, we have just general items, payments. We have some line item transfers, no budget impact, just moving items to finish up the year. And then we have some payments regarding some ratification of change orders, extension of some bids that we have already on file, and then some payments on our 2018 bond and 2012 bond project. So everything's in order. Recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Judge, if I may, 5A, I'd like to just push that down a little bit because we have a couple employees coming for the recognition, so they're on their way. If I may go to 5B, requesting approval to use the Dow County 2020 holiday schedule as approved by Commissioners Court on October 22nd, 2019. We're following the same schedule that's been approved already for the county for the Drainage District.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Item 5C, requesting approval to declare surplus for approximately 1,692 cubic yards of field dirt located at West Main Drain 3, south of 5 Mile Lane between Sturbach Road and Moorfield Road, RFP number ACDD 1-19-06-18-06-8-10-09, unless as much as attempt was made for the sale and removal, advertised for 2 weeks, and no bids were received.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, approval and acceptance letter of engagement for arbitrage calculation services with the Dow County Selected and Award Firm BLX Group LLC as allowed through the Procure Dow County RFQ 2019-109-06-12 YZV. Letter LOE reviewed by and approved as to form by legal.
I have a motion to approve.
Second.
Who negotiated the fee?
It was a county that had already adopted, so we have the exact same fee that was negotiated by the county. So it's exactly the same thing, mirrored, and I believe, if I can read this. Give me a second. We have the information here. Oh my goodness, there it is.
It's okay, I will.
It's just for the record, arbitrage rebate and yield restriction report per issue per report is $1,500. Extra period fee for each year beyond the first year covered in report, $500. Debt service funds only rebate report 5-year basis, $3,000. And then optional services, evaluating various election and applications to be negotiated separately. But those are the 3 items that were negotiated by the county, and we're just mirroring that
They
agreement.
sound reasonable. We have a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Great, thank you. Item E, discussion, consideration, approval of voluntary annexation petition packet for annexation for Dow County Drainage District Number 1. What we're proposing here is we have several projects that will be extending beyond our current district boundaries. We have primarily in the north part of Precinct 4 and the west part of Precinct 3. When those projects get developed, there's going to be opportunity for development. And we developed an annexation packet through our legal counsel that allows us to encumber the lands that get developed into the district, because those facilities will be serving those areas, and that maintenance tax will be applied to those areas for the maintenance that we will conduct when those projects are developed. So in that sense, it's a voluntary annexation as development comes in. So a proposed subdivision that comes in will have this requirement. They'll sign the voluntary annexation. When it gets recorded, those lots will be now part of the district and will be assessed the fees just like everybody else in the district, because we'll have facilities serving them. We won't do this unless a facility is serving that area. So.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6A, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service agreement, subject to review with CSJ Group as it relates to professional engineering services for 2018 bond referendum projects 3, 5, 6. Approved for negotiation by the Board of Directors of agenda items 70488.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2, pursuant to the Board's approval, professional agreement, CSJ Group, requesting approval of work session number 1 in the amount of $120,605.60 to provide engineering services for 2018 bond referendum projects 3, 5, and 6. Subject to legal review and compliance with House Bill 1295, Contract C, ACDD 1-19-053-1105, work authorization number 1.
Move for second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7A, requesting authority to advertise and approval of plan specification developed project engineer test infrastructure group for Dow County Drainage number 1, Dow County Precinct number 4, JO9 Phase 4 Rural Drainage Development 12 Bond Project, RFP number ATD 1-19-077-1105, including the re-advertisement of the project. In the event no bids responses are received and are rejected, the project is still required. This is the last leg of our JO9 project that gets us from Ware Road over to, well, I went blank. It's the last leg of our project. Not Western. Oh, my goodness. It's the last leg of our project. I lost it. Connects Ware Road west to
Somebody help them.
to a road out there. So I'm sorry.
To a county road.
No, it's Ware Road west to, what's that road? Not Cantu, it's east of Cantu. Anyway,
Second
For
motion.
approval. Move
We
for
have a
approval.
motion and a second to approve something.
I just turned 50, so I'm sorry. No. I haven't. No, I've got a lot. I can't remember the road right now. I apologize.
But I have bad news for you. It
Oh,
doesn't
no,
get any
Judge,
better.
don't tell
It doesn't get any better as you go to 51 and so forth.
Don't tell me. I'm getting red.
He thinks.
We have a motion and a second to approve something. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm just kidding. Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Item 7B, request acceptance and approval, supplement agreement number 1 to work session number 2 to clarify the source of payment for the special service project, special service provided by Project Engineer Having Associates, Inc. in relation to the feasibility study through the awarded professional service contract number CHCD 1-18-036-0814 for Dow County Drainage Number 1 Delta Region Water Management Project, subject to review and compliance House Bill 1295. We're just amending a section in there that allows for, we have a legal opinion that allows for services, advisement and lobbying services to be provided to the district as long as no state funds are being used, and that language is being added to the contract. So we're asking for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, approval to issue payment on the following items proceeding review and compliance with contract terms and conditions. Jackson Drain Improvement, application for payment number 3 in the amount of $18,708.73 from Castle Enterprises LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACD 1-18-048-0925. Project engineers, Mr. Salgado from my office.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. We do have some
Okay.
close items.
The Board of Directors will go into closed session pursuant to subchapter D of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code to discuss the following items, which are items listed in our agenda here, items 8A, B, C, and the time now is 9:41. And the board is going into closed session. We'll return to take action in open session.
Association Second Annual Equipment Rodeo held October 26, 2019. So Mr. Well is here. 2 years ago, he placed number 1, and it's like I guess heavy equipment Olympics, where they do certain things with the machines, and it teaches them, I guess, they're focused on safety and things of that nature, and operating those heavy machines. And Mr. Well, like as I said, won it 2 years ago, and this year he placed 3rd. They had like 14, I guess, entities participating. So, he represented the district in our area well, so we just wanted to give him recognition for the participation that he's done this time around, and just wanted to have that recognition. Mr. Avita, did he make it or no? Okay. So we had another employee also participate, and it's encouraging to have some of our employees participate in some of these things that show their skill at doing work with those heavy machine like that. So, anything you
Well,
want to say?
absolutely, and congratulations.
Sir, going back to item,
Closed session, all right?
yeah, open session, on closed session item 1, right? Where am I?
A is real estate.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, A, real property will proceed as directed. Item B. I apologize. B, no action. Item C, concession attorney. C1.
I move to, 1, approve the right of possession agreement 2, authorize the chairman to execute said agreement, and 3, payment to defendants of the appraised value as determined by HCCD1 for the parcels 2, 4, and 5.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C2.
I move to ratify that Jones, Galligan, Key, and Lozano LLP substitute in as legal counsel for the Hidalgo County Drainage District in this matter.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Great. Thank you.
I believe that concludes all of our agenda items. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So,
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. I think we're already at 10.
Yep.
Okay, give me a minute. Okay, I call the meeting to order of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court. The time right now is 10 o'clock. Let the minutes reflect that the meeting has been duly called and in accordance with all the accordance of the Texas Open Meeting Act. So we will begin with a roll call, please, to establish quorum.
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2. Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. Would you please lead us in prayer?
Pledge allegiance.
You need to pledge.
Please stand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then,
Do you want the pledge first? or
yes,
the-
I'm sorry. It wasn't on the list. Today, we are honored to have Mr. Felix M. Rodriguez, Hidalgo County Veterans Service Officer, joining us to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Rodriguez is a Vietnam combat veteran who served from 1970 to 1973 as an E-5 specialist, 5th class in the U.S. Army, and he has been employed with the county's Veterans Service Office since 2007. Thank you for your service.
Sir. Thank you, Judge. All veterans in attendance, you know the drill. America, attention, present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms, as you were.
You can remain standing. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we give thanks for the democracy alive in our country and for the freedom to worship you. Help the elected government and all in positions of power and authority to govern wisely and for the common good of all. Amen.
Amen.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda.
All's in order, Judge.
So moved. No abstention? No abstention. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. On the next item, as we prepare to celebrate Veterans Day next week, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the Commissioners Court to recognize all of Hidalgo County employees who have served in the armed forces. Our country, the United States of America, is a great country. However, our country is great because of the sacrifices of our veterans and their families. So on behalf of the Commissioners Court, county elected officials, and all of Hidalgo County, I would like to thank the veterans here today for their sacrifice and service for this, our last Commissioners Court meeting before Veterans Day. Would you please ask and recognize the members of
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners, thank you so much. We have veterans in attendance here today. Those in attendance that we have highlighted their names, and we will call them as we have them here in order with their respective departments, Judge, Commissioners, if I may.
please?
Robert Alonso. He's with the Drainage District.
Please come over here and be recognized.
Come up here, please. Front and center. David Araiza, Facilities Management. Rodolfo Chavez, Drainage District. Javier Diaz, Precinct 4. Noe Flores Jr., Hidalgo County Head Start. Juan Fonseca, Precinct 2. Ruben Garcia Jr., Hidalgo County Head Start. Gilbert Gutierrez, Precinct 2. Genaro Hernandez, Hidalgo County Head Start. Rick Loredo, Precinct 4. Eloy Lugo, Adult Probation. Orlando Macias, Precinct 4. Roberto Martinez, Precinct 4. Esteban Mata, Drainage District. Aaron Medrano, Drainage District. Jose Luis Mendez, Hidalgo County Head Start. Joanne Orenday, Sheriff's Office. Oscar Palacios, Hidalgo County Head Start. Rene Pompa, Drainage District. Joe Reyes, Drainage District. Victor Reyes, Precinct 4. Raul Silguero, Human Resources Department. Anthony Snyder, Precinct 2. Rafael Soto, Precinct 2. Lauro Torres, Executive Office. Ambrosio Tovar, Hidalgo County Head Start. Frank Weller, Drainage District. Okay. And we have as well Robert Castañeda, Facilities Management. Daniel Flores, okay, that's him. Facilities Management. Norma Harlow, County Clerk's Office. Raymond Herrera, Veterans Services. Alma Martinez, Veterans Services. Crystal Ortiz, District Attorney's Office. Orlando Ortiz, Precinct 3. Samuel Perez Jr., Veterans Services. Dagoberto Rios, Purchasing Department. Myself, Felix Rodriguez, Veterans Services. Andrew Davis, Drainage District. Mario Cavazos, District Attorneys. Rodrigo Uresti, District Attorney's Office. Crystal Marie Ortiz, District Attorneys. And Victor Manuel Garza, District Attorney's Office as well. There are many more that couldn't make it this morning, Judge, Commissioners. So Hidalgo County is to be applauded.
And if there's any that we've missed to come on board.
If there are any veterans in attendance here as well that we did not call, I apologize. Please stand up here. Please come in.
Even if they're visitors, Felix, I mean, just to stand and be recognized.
Well, the gratitude we express here today is extended to all veterans, even all over the place, even though they're not here. You know that on November the 11th of each year is the day that we ensure that our veterans know that we as Americans deeply appreciate the sacrifices they have made to keep our country free and our flag flying high. Veterans, more than anyone, know what they defended so bravely are the ideals that are the foundation of the United States of America. Defending those ideals comes with a price, and many of our veterans have made it the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our flag and country. Others have made it home, only to find it difficult to resume their lives due to physical or spiritual injuries and trauma. We must strive to live up to the sacrifice of our veterans every day by advocating for better and expanded services and medical care for our veterans. And with a lot of gratitude, we really thank you.
I'm sorry, we inadvertently left out two. Glenn Davino and Juan Arevalo, District Attorney's Office as well. My apologies.
Judge Jaime Medina. And Judge Jaime Tejerina, I believe, is here. Yes.
Okay, let's take a photo.
Let's take a picture. A photo.
We were missing one as well, Judge, 430th District Court Judge, as well. Israel Ramon is one of our veterans, couldn't get away from court.
Mr. Diaz. Mr. Diaz.
Let me help you.
I need to go up.
Okay, look at the woman in the black suit. Smile.
There is sweet bread and coffee right outside of the.
Thank you all for your service. Thank you. Caro, is this good? I don't know.
Thank you.
Sure. We'll move up 15B.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge. Commissioners, item 15B is presentation and recognition of the Senior Corps Program veteran volunteers. Judge, Commissioners, it's a good day in the neighborhood, as Tom Hanks, I guess, says nowadays. But, Father Roy and Mr. Rogers are quoted to have said that as well. Today, Community Service Agency brings forth a different kind of service to Hidalgo County. While you all just recognized those that are employed by the county, those veterans that are employed with the county and providing services to the citizens of Hidalgo County, I bring another group forth today. There's a group of volunteers actually that participate in our Senior Corps program. Remember, we have three different programs. We have a retired senior volunteer program where we provide services in the hospitals, the museums, food pantries all across Hidalgo, Cameron, and Willacy County. We also have a senior companion program where we match senior volunteers with someone in the community who's also a senior citizen and who can't get out into the community. And we also have a foster grandparent program where we match senior volunteers with, in this case, with children from Head Start. And I'm proud to say we have a group of veterans here today that have not only conducted their lives, provided service to their country, came back, had their careers, retired from their careers, and then are continuing to provide services to the people of Hidalgo County. So I bring forth our Senior Corps volunteers and our Senior Corps director. Sylvia Sepulveda will introduce them one by one. You want to tell them a little bit about what?
Yes, absolutely. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. How are y'all today? Today we bring information from our communities across Hidalgo County. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for your continued support in supporting our programs across the valley. So we do cover 3 counties, but predominantly we have the largest number of volunteers here in Hidalgo County. And thanks to the Community Service Agency for continued support as well. So we have a total of 60 veterans who continue to provide services to our community. And we have a few here today. A few didn't want to let their posts go, as we know them. But anyway, thank you for your continued support. We will be calling the area areas where they are volunteering so you can get a little bit more information on where they're at. So we're going to start with the volunteer stations, the Driscoll's Children's Hospital in McAllen, Texas. We have Ezequiel Perez Zeke, and we have Carmen Jackson. So if y'all can step up. The museum in the Weslaco area, we have Raúl Arredondo and Jose Puga. The Veterans Clinic in McAllen, Texas, we have Patrick Hawkins, we have Albert Espinosa, Maria Teresa Markel, and John Veracruz. In the Senior Center in the city of La Jolla, we have Roberto Longoria, Jose Sayavedra, and Joel Sainz. Are they passing forward? Okay. So, Las Palmas Senior Community Center in McAllen, we have Juan Lopez and we have Juan Medina. The First United Methodist Church Food Pantry in Mission, we have Pablo Cerda. The Holy Spirit Catholic Church Food Pantry, in McAllen, Texas, we have Gerardo Jerry Guerra, we have Jose Partida, we have Ruben de Leon, we have Erasmo Solis. The Sacred Heart Catholic Church Food Pantry in McAllen, Ruben Garza. We have St. Damien Catholic Church Food Pantry in Edinburgh. We have Joel Peña. St. Joseph the Worker Catholic Church in McAllen, we have Jaime Hinojosa. The St. Francis Catholic Church in La Feria, we have Roberto Munoz. The Lark Community Senior Center, Community Center in McAllen, we have Sam Galvan. The Rio Grande Valley Senior Companion Program, which is valley-wide, we have two veterans, David Reina and Manuel Rodriguez. Now, we do have a total of 60 veterans total working in community service as volunteers. And we give special attentions to our veterans because they have not only retired from their career, but they have always and also served our country. And now they continue to serve our communities in various capacities. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to also introduce one senior companion who is our leader, and he keeps us on our toes, Mr. Juan Garza. Yes, we are. Mr. Puga? Where are we going to take the pictures?
Judge, Commissioners, you know that I love to tell our story via stories. I will tell you that my dad was a World War II veteran, and he lays at the Veteran Cemetery in Mission together with my mom. And one of the most moving pictures that I have in my office is a picture of a couple of the volunteers, but knowing that there was 3 or 4 other veterans that were in this group that went out on September 11th, right, to clean the gravestones at the Texas State Cemetery. There was three Vietnam veterans who were all together helping each other to be able to clean the stones as they went through the cemetery. So that's the kind of work that our retired senior volunteers do, is they're always engaged in some way of giving back to the community, and these folks have served twice.
Saturday after Thanksgiving.
We do have a laying of, as a little bird just whispered to me, we have a laying of the wreath ceremony on the day after Thanksgiving at the Texas State Veterans Cemetery, and I'm sure that most of these folks are going to be out there as well. So we invite the community to come out and join us. Okay? Once again, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can we take a picture?
Yeah, let's go take a picture right there. Step forward. Step forward.
Okay, so we have see that
Or you see the little stripes.
Space over on this side down there. There's actually everybody has a certificate. God, there's space down here, so what about that? Why don't you, sir, why don't you join us? Hold on just a second for the official photo. Smile. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for continuing to serve.
Thank you for everything. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. Thank you, sir. Thank you for service.
I can remember when I was 10 years old.
Are you still presenting? I don't know.
Hey, I know the feeling. Thank you very much.
Mucho gusto y gracias por gracias. Thank you very much.
Judge, Commissioners, just a brief announcement on this Friday. The Community Service Agency will be celebrating veterans. So we'd like to invite the public and you all as commissioners to attend. And Judge, Commissioner Eli Torres has graciously agreed to a short little presentation for the veterans. Namely, it's for our Bravo Zulu veterans who participate in our program. But certainly we welcome the general public at 9 a.m. to come in and help us celebrate veterans on Friday, November 8th at 9 a.m. at our offices located at 2524 North Klausner.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May I continue with my last agenda item, Judge? It's brief.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Judge, Commissioners, item 15A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve the 2020 Comprehensive Energy Assistance Program Service Delivery Plan. Ladies and gentlemen, what this item is it lays out the plan for how we will be distributing the energy assistance funds in 2020. The biggest difference, of course, it outlines the weather triggers that we use to provide emergency assistance. It also outlines the number of families that we hope to target. It also describes the locations that we'll be providing services. One of the big things in there is, of course, we list the 150 adult daycares that we go to every year to provide services in their facilities, so that we can cover a lot of the county's elderly and disabled population. But the most important thing that this document lays out is our service delivery model, the number of payments that families will be receiving. This year, what the advisory board recommended is that we change our service delivery model from 3 payments for non-vulnerable families to and 4 payments for vulnerable families, and I'll explain that in just a minute, to 4 payments for non-vulnerables and 5 payments for vulnerables. Vulnerable families are the elderly, the disabled, and families with children under the age of 6. So those families under this new plan would get 5 utility assistance payments, and then everyone else that's still below the income threshold would receive 4 payments. So that's the biggest change. The board spent a lot of time going back and forth. The law actually allows us to go all the way up to 8 payments. But when we go up to 8 payments, we tend to of course, we would have to help a lot less families. So our board has decided to kind of split the middle with them and to go back to a 4-5 model.
I think I know the number, but I think it's important for the public to know about how many households qualify for this.
Roughly, Judge, there's about 105,000 families, and we have funding for about 10,000 families. And that's how we're stretching the money.
That's just to give you an idea of the need that we have.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you,
very
Commissioners.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Longoria. Thank you for all you do.
We're going to go back to 5B, resolution honoring Miss Galaxy International 2020.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Julia Sullivan, Public Affairs. This is a resolution honoring Junior Miss Galaxy International 2020. Whereas at the age of 6, Leilani Renee Ryerbeck began her journey as a pageant contestant, not only representing Hidalgo County, but also the city of Edinburgh, the Rio Grande Valley, and the state of Texas, and the United States, and now the world. She won her first title as South Texas Beauty in 2012, first runner-up. And whereas all Leilani's hard work, perseverance, and dedication paved the winning path, earning a crown for Miss Edinburgh Princess 2014, Little Miss RGV 2016, Preteen Edinburgh Galaxy 2017, Preteen RGV Galaxy 2018, Preteen Texas Galaxy 2018, Junior Miss U.S. Galaxy in 2018, Junior Miss U.S. Galaxy 2019, and by not giving up on her dreams, she proceeded to win the 2020 Junior Miss Galaxy International. And whereas Leilani has dedicated her time to becoming an excellent role model for children around the globe, classmates in her school at South Middle School, and has volunteered countless hours toward community events and shows throughout the surrounding cities. And whereas by recently obtaining the win for Junior Miss Galaxy International, Leilani is now recognized as an ambassador to all military-connected children in the Rio Grande Valley. And whereas Leilani's message to everyone in Hidalgo County is to never give up on your dreams, wear your crown within your heart, work hard, keep trying, and best of all, don't be afraid to dream big. She proudly shares her crown with the Hidalgo County and community and gives thanks for the continued prayers and support that have followed her throughout the competition years. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby congratulate Leilani Renee Ryerbeck for her success in winning 2020 Junior Miss Galaxy International, and we wish her a prosperous journey ahead. Approved this 8th day of October 2019 and presented today.
Move approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And would you like to say a few words here, Mom? Okay, let's take a photo.
Yeah, stay on that side. Too pretty for this side. No, fine.
Thank you.
We're going to move up item 17A, proclamation declaring November as National Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Good morning again, sir and commissioners. Under Hidalgo County Precinct 2 Commissioner Eddie Cantu, this is a proclamation declaring November 2019 as Epilepsy Awareness Month. Whereas more than 3.4 million Americans have epilepsy, including 15,667 citizens of Hidalgo County. And whereas epilepsy is a common neurological disorder affecting 1 in 26 people. Seizures are disturbances in the electrical activity of the brain, and 1 in 3 individuals with epilepsy will have uncontrolled seizures. And whereas surveys show that half of the adolescents think epilepsy is contagious or have no knowledge of the condition at all, leading to feelings of isolation among persons with epilepsy. And whereas the County of Hidalgo, Texas joins the Epilepsy Foundation Central and South Texas in encouraging people to focus attention this month and always on epilepsy and becoming more understanding of those living with epilepsy and in supporting epilepsy education, programs, and services. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim November 2019 as Epilepsy Awareness Month, presented this 5th day of November 2019.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lily Flowers. Thank you for having us today. And my name is Lily Flowers, and I have epilepsy. I'm also an epilepsy advocate. I've had 9 brain surgeries, 2 resections, and 1 implant. And I take a lot of medicine 4 times a day, every day. So last April, I went to Washington, D.C., and participated in the Epilepsy Foundation's Teen Speak Up program. I met with my senator's representative's office to talk about laws that affect people with epilepsy. As a part of my commitment to TSU, my mom and I created the Seizure Safe Community Project. This project is really important to me because I have 30 seizures about every month. And I need people to know what to do when I have a seizure. I'm going to let my mom explain a little more about the project.
I'm April Flowers, and I'd really like to extend a huge thanks to Commissioner Cantu and his staff for jumping behind this project. It means so much to us. When your kid is not built for your community, your only option becomes rebuilding your community for your kid. And that is the spirit behind this project. It revolves around 4 benchmarks, and upon completion of the benchmarks, the Epilepsy Foundation of Central and South Texas certifies a community as seizure safe, instilling a lot of trust in our population. So the first benchmark, you just did. It's the proclamation. The second benchmark is a purple out. So whether you want to light a water tower purple or have all of your staff come in purple and post pictures on social, however you want to do that. The third is sharing the seizure first aid graphics on your social channels. That's really important to us that people know what to do. And the fourth component is the most important piece of our puzzle. It's a commitment to first responder training. And the reason that we've zeroed in on first responders is because they are truly community leaders. They're the first ones on the scene in an emergency. They have to know so much. And it's shocking how much we don't know about epilepsy and about seizures. It's shocking how much disinformation and how many myths are out there. And these myths can be very dangerous, even deadly. So my greatest fear has nothing to do with what's going to happen when I'm with my daughter. It revolves entirely around what's going to happen when I'm not there. The scariest thing I can do is let my teenager go to a football game without me. So the idea is that epilepsy has a huge stigma, and we've got to break it. But stigma is birthed by fear. Fear creates silence, silence creates ignorance, and ignorance can be deadly for our kids. So training first responders has a double whammy. First of all, it protects our citizens with epilepsy. Having confident, very knowledgeable first responders out there who know exactly what to do also educate our community when citizens are watching their response. So we're here asking you to please urge the sheriff and his deputies to attend our training next week. We have 4 sessions. They're an hour each. The Epilepsy Foundation provides it. It's an excellent training. They did it for all of the McAllen ISD school nurses last year, and our school nurse told me there was so much I did not know. So if a nurse doesn't know this, the rest of us need to know it. We probably don't. So we brought information on the project. Thank you so much for having us here today. We'll leave this with you all, and we really appreciate your efforts.
Ma'am, thank you. I'm just going to ask if you could share that with our emergency services districts as well, because they're, the ambulatory care that gets there first would be benefit from that as well.
Yes, we would love to do that.
Thank you.
What's the date for the training? The date,
November
time,
14th and 15th is the 2 days leading up to the Walk to End Epilepsy RGB.
Where is it at?
It's at your indoor sports complex.
I didn't know. I was just asking. What time's it at?
There's a session from 9 to 10, and then 10:30 to 11:30.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, we can. Yes.
Did we make a motion?
Yeah, we need a motion second. We voted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being, thank you so much. Thank you. My dad is epileptic as well. So I'm very sad to meet you. You did really well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lily, for being strong. My dad's epileptic.
Next, we have a proclamation declaring November Home Care and Hospice Month.
Good morning. Item 5C is a proclamation declaring November Home Health Hospice Month. If you can all join me, please. Whereas, while many Texans suffering from illness or injuries receive quality care from dedicated healthcare professionals in hospitals and other facilities, some Texans need or prefer a more comfortable, intimate setting. And whereas home health care and hospice services meet this need by providing individualized and professional medical care and assistance to the elderly, disabled, and chronically ill. And whereas an awareness campaign is conducted each November to highlight home health care and hospice as alternatives to hospitalization and other institutional health care. It also recognizes that home health care and hospice employees, including nurses, therapists, home health aides, and others who provide compassionate care to millions of Texans each year. And whereas home health care allows families to stay together and provide for greater health, dignity, and comfort, hospice services provide care to those in their final days of life and bereavement support for their loved ones before and after death. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim November 2019 as Home Health Care and Hospice Month and encourages the support and participation of all citizens in learning more about home health care and hospice philosophy of care for the elderly, disabled, and terminally ill. It was approved on the 29th day of October and presented today.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And I'd like to introduce John Skapansky, who's president of the Texas Association for Home Care and Hospice.
Thank you. Judge, commissioners, appreciate the opportunity. Appreciate you guys spotlighting the home care industry. It's a very, very important part of our economy down here, and it's very important to the community. So we're appreciative on behalf of my colleagues and myself and the Texas Association for Home Care and Hospice. We just appreciate you spotlighting this and raising awareness to the home care industry. It's an ever-growing industry, and more people are realizing that they can be taken care of in their homes as opposed to hospitals or other expensive institutions. And there's more things with technology today that we can do in the home as opposed to 5 or even 10 years ago. So we're thankful for that. We appreciate you guys, and we just are thankful to raise awareness to this industry because we know that in this community, in our community here, we service many members. We're representing thousands of members here today and thousands of employees. So thank you on behalf of those members, employees, and the Texas Association for Home Care and Hospice.
Thank you. Thank you. long Commissioner Flores is coming?
Thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I was sort of kind of right behind it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service. You too.
Nice to see you. I didn't know I was supposed to be here.
Good to see you.
Okay. Item 6A, District Attorney's Office.
Good morning, Commissioners. Judge Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 6A, the DA's Victim Assistance Program Grant Fund 1281. We're asking for approval to deobligate a partial amount of the grant number 2924302 from the Office of the Governor's portion.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
May I proceed to HIDA? Item 7A, HIDA Task Force requesting authorization for County Judge to execute the 2019 Equitable Sharing Agreement and Certification Report, as well as number 2, requesting the authorization to submit the FY 2019 Equitable Sharing Agreement and Certification Report on behalf of the agency head, Ricardo Rodriguez, Criminal District Attorney, and the governing body head, Richard Cortez, Hidalgo County Judge.
Move for approval on 7A, 1 and 2.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
8A. You have Constable 4 here? Oh, here's Constable Sheriff's.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Chief Herrera with the Sheriff's Office, Hidalgo County. Item 8A, 2017 Operation Stone Garden 1284, authorization and approval to submit budget amendment FRAG and Price Act waiver, if needed, in reference to Operation Stone Garden 2017.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Judge, Commissioners, and my apologies, Chief. For the record, for the Auditor's Office, we'll make sure that the appropriate paperwork, the price waiver is formally submitted to the auditors and attached to our agenda when we get that.
Yes, sir.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, discussion and consideration and approval to appoint Andrea Gutierrez, student at the University of Rio Grande Valley, as an intern under the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Law Enforcement Internship Program for the period of January 2020 to May 2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
C, 1 and 2, authorization and approval of Second Amendment to the Forensics Logics LLC subscription services agreement between Texas Transnational Intelligence Center and Forensics Logics LLC. And 2, authorization for Hidalgo County Sheriff as authorized official to sign agreement.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item D, 1 through 4. I'm going to read them out first and then all 4 at the same time.
Please.
Okay. 1, approval to declare surplus and removal of county inventory list, county asset number 58658 German Shepherd for medically required reasons after removal from Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office services. 2, approval to transfer the ownership of the K-9 officer Weiteg to Sergeant Jesse Trantham. 3, authorization for Hidalgo County Judge and Hidalgo County Sheriff to sign receipt of acknowledgement. And 4, approval of affidavit agreement.
Move for approval for item DA 172995, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item E will be taking no action at this time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners.
Item 9A, Constable Precinct 4.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Just real quick, 9A, Judge, discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Gilberto Emanuel Luna as Reserve Deputy Constable by myself, Constable Gaitan, Precinct 4, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code Section 86.012.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I've got. Commissioner Torres, thank you so much. Roman was a great help this morning. We accomplished, we moved that truck. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, sir. Thank you.
Back to office.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioner Santos Castilla, Motor Vehicle Manager. I have item 10A, discussion and approval of attachment D, RTS Workstation Lease Agreement for the use of State of Texas automation equipment by and between the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles and the County of Hidalgo. This attachment reflects 30 additional leased registration and title systems.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
On the next item, I have an appointment to the Hidalgo County Head Start Program Policy Council. I nominate Roxana Flores from Penitas, Texas.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll contact your office for contact information.
Yes.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, under item 12A, 1 and 2, there's no action, nothing to report today. Under 12B, status update on Hidalgo County Wellness Program. Commissioner Cantu?
I'm texting to you.
Oh.
We'll do it together. Go ahead, Diana. I'll jump in.
Hi, good morning. Diana Hualpa with the Wellness Program. We just wanted to share that we recently launched a new program that's the Take the First Step with Us. Yesterday we had the first workout here at the Annex. We were really happy that the judge joined us, also Commissioner Cantu, and Criminal DA Ricardo Rodriguez. And last week we were also...
But
sorry.
you missed something out. The district attorney has a better pair of legs than I do. Okay, I was very envious when I saw that, but go ahead.
Yes, so the plan is that we first run or walk a mile, and then with the lead of Carlos Bracamontes, who is the program manager, he guides us to do some body weight movements, and we do everything at each department. So last week we were at the administration building, and we were with Sergio Cruz, our budget officer there. So, do you want to share your experience?
Yeah, well, so basically what we're doing is, obviously we have our workouts at the complex, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and noon. But we didn't want to leave anybody out, so we're going to the different departments. We're mapping out a course where they can run a mile, 2 miles, 10 miles, whatever it may be. We've mapped it out for them so that they know where to run. And then we've set up a little workout for them. And what we're doing is we're setting up a workout without actually having to get on the floor. It's a workout where you never have to use your hand to get on the floor. And we did one at the Kmart building on Monday, and on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I believe. They continue to do the workouts on their own. That's the goal of the program. We did a workout here yesterday. The judge led us, and Judge Ricky Rod participated. Chief Saldana participated, and about 20 people. We ran around here. There's a quarter mile. We ran a mile, and then we did some body weight exercises and we got a quick workout in, and then everybody took off home. And so our goal is to continue to go to all the different departments so that we're trying to eliminate any excuse that may exist as to I can't get to the gym. So just some other brief stuff. Facebook page has 500 members now. Weigh-ins continue. We've almost weighed the whole county on our scales that provide body fat and so forth. I'll let you talk about enrollment in a second, Diana. We continue with our nutritional advice presentations. Commissioner Fuentes smartly talked about how nutrition is so important. We're passing out these little very basic 4-page nutritional advice, but it has a lot of information when we do the nutritional presentations. It's a 4-page presentation that can be taken home by each employee. They can refer back to it as to what to eat, what not to eat, what to drink, what not to drink, and even talks about the size of the plate that they're supposed to use and the types of sweeteners to avoid. So this is something permanent that they can have with them to refer back to. We also have our Saturday workouts at the sports complex at 8:30 and 9:30. So our employees go, they bring spouses, they bring their family members. It's open to the whole public. Anybody that lives in Hidalgo County basically can show up on Saturdays. That's been a success. And then if you want to talk about enrollment.
Yes, actually last week we concluded open enrollment with employee benefits, and one of the goals that we had with being there at open enrollment is making sure that the employees know the benefits and also the new programs that are going to be effective January 1st with the medical carrier. So we have Aetna In Touch Care program, which is a disease management that is going to help the employees who have chronic conditions, and we also have the Maintenance Choice program, which is a program that helps employees when they take daily medication, for example, for high blood pressure or diabetes. So we were there last week. We finished after being there for almost 3 weeks. And we're also, this year we concluded 2 classes for mobile cooking school, which is only focused on nutrition and how to actually prepare healthy meals. So that's something that we're going to be taking to the different precincts next year.
And Carlos and Diana did a really good job during enrollment of addressing all the issues that continue to come up during the health insurance presentations, about a lot of the benefits that we have that our staff didn't know, that we didn't know about, that our staff didn't know about. And so that's really what they were tackling in these open enrollments. But they went above and beyond that and went into all the different benefits, voluntary products that our employees are buying. So they're more well-versed into what they have available to them when teledoc, going to the doctors on an annual basis. And we continue to have success stories of people losing weight, however they're losing weight, whether it's working out or just eating better, and getting off their medications. So that's what we wanted to do, and it's happening. Anything else, Dan?
No, well, last week on October 22nd, we finished our nationwide team challenge. So next Commissioner's Court, we're going to be presenting the results.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, before you leave, just to make a comment, and our insurance people can probably clarify exactly, but a lot of times when you go get a wellness checkup with your doctor, that's usually reimbursable through some of our supplemental insurance policies. So you might want to get some of that information from our people, because if they have like I can't remember which one exactly, but if they go and get an annual checkup for their general health, they can get it reimbursed from their supplemental.
So it's a cancer policy. If they have the cancer policy, they can actually get $100 back if they do a wellness or an yearly physical. And if they have the critical illness, they can get $50 back if they do their yearly physical or a wellness checkup.
And sometimes the cancer policies also have like PSAs and other measurables, so you might want to just check to see which of our insurance policies, especially on the supplementals, have an incentive for people to go checked out, because early detection obviously is key. So just in general for wellness of our population, you might want to give some details as to what's covered under which supplemental policies, so that people know like that if they go get it, one, it's not going to cost them anything because they'll get it paid for, but second, there might be an incentive for them to go do it. And just in general, that's good practice.
Definitely. And so before enrollment, we were at the different precincts and departments doing insurance presentations. So myself, and also we had Carlos, and also we have the voluntary agents from the different products. So we have an agent from MedLife, an agent from Sun Life, also an agent from Aetna. Sorry, Aetna was not there, but an agent for Sun Life, MedLife, and I'm missing one.
There was like 5 or 6 of them there explaining all those
Emeritus also. So the dental, vision, critical illness, cancer, and also the accident. And we went and we explained all the different products. And the only 2 that we have a reimbursement is the cancer policy and the critical illness. So we will make sure that the employees know those. And in case they have any questions, they can always come up to us. The employee benefits always have a packet of all the summary of benefits with each of the voluntary products.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Congrats.
Commissioners, if I may. Item C, I'm asking the court to take action on a request by the Edinburgh Chamber of Commerce to use our parking lot north of the courthouse for their Night of Lights parade on Friday, December 6, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. 13A, Human Resources.
Morning, Commissioners. Jose Liguero, Human Resources. Item 13A, first, we need requesting a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments, if applicable, for personnel items that are listed below.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Commissioners, item B, for the District Attorney's Office, the District Attorney is asking approval of the following personnel action effective 10/1/2019 and for calendar year 2020. It says 10/1 because the position, the grant that this position was funded from expired, but we have continued paying it through the general fund pending information from the grant. The District Attorney's Office is continuing to seek grant assistance, but in the meantime, we're asking approval to fund it from the general fund partially and partially from forfeiture funds, and that would be for while they pursue some additional grant funding. This is the slot that is listed. It's 0173 under one fund and 0224 under the other fund. We recommend approval.
Move for approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And the second item related to that is approval of the interdepartmental transfer.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C for the District Attorney's Civil Litigation Division. The District Attorney's Office is asking approval to create a temporary full-time position for 9 weeks, beginning 11/5, which is today, 2019, and ending 12/31. As follows: create slot number T014, Attorney 3 at a grade 17. This is to replace an attorney who is out on FMLA and may be out several months. So we won't be, they need to work, the position for the workload. So we recommend approval.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D for the 275th District Court. This is related to our classification plan. The person is eligible for the discretionary step, so we're asking approval to award discretionary step 2 to employee number 235377, Assistant Court Coordinator, upon approval of HR certification criteria in accordance with Section 8.03 of the Classification and Compensation Plan, effective upon Commissioner's Court approval.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Just a comment that we had some forms that were not fully completed because the officials that needed to sign were not available. Those have been, I think, already loaded into the system based on the auditor's observations, just to address those. And the funding will be addressed by the Budget Office. Item E, we're doing this with for Constable Precinct 3, Constable Gallardo. I think he's here. Right here. This is it's a partially HR, partial constable. In 2020, the Commissioner's Court, during the budget process, approved an additional deputy constable for all the constables. Constable Gallardo is proposing to use the funding for that position to be able to create more positions with the school district as part of the School Resource Officer Program, wherein the funding, the county funding, would allow him to create more positions with a certain match from the school district. In other words, the funding from one could fund 3, given an interlocal with the school district. Let me have him present his proposal.
Thank you, Raul. Good morning, Commissioners. Sharyland ISD is one of the school districts in our precincts that does not have a ISD PD. Mission does not either. Currently, Mission, we have 2 officers assigned to Mission PD to handle the schools that are not within the city limits of Mission. Mission has covered a lot of the Mission PD has covered a lot of the schools, but they're trying to scale back and only take care of those that are in the city limits. Sharyland is in the city limits of Mission, but not all the schools are in the city limits. And so Sharyland ISD has asked our department, went to the sheriff. Sheriff sent them to me to be able to bring on 6 deputies as SROs for their campuses not within the city limits of Mission. And I told them that I could not do the 6, that maybe 5. Alton, talking with Alton Police Department in the city of Alton, there is a school, which is an elementary that is in their city limits, which they're willing to take on. So the remaining 4 is what I'm asking for, where I would take the funding for that new deputy slot for 2020, put those funds towards these 4 deputies. It's a 70-30 cash match, more or less. We would need an additional $14,000 a year, somewhere in their average, to be able to fund those 4 deputies, to put those deputies at those schools, to be able to keep those children safe. As you know, there's always a threat for active shooters that are happening all over the country, especially here in Texas. It's happened recently in El Paso and some other areas. So that's kind of the trend that's going on. I know like Edinburgh has their own ISDPD, McAllen does, La Jolla does, but you do have some schools in our county that do not have any type of protection at all. So they're looking to have an officer at every one of their campuses. And Mission, and I've met with the Mission Police Department Chief Dominguez and said, Larry, he goes, if you can help me with these schools, he would take Pioneer High School that's out there, which is actually in the city limits of McAllen, but McAllen for some reason does not want to get involved in that sort of deal. So they've come to me. So I'm asking that we take that 2020 slot to be able to fund the 30%, which will probably fund 80%, 85% of that, and we may just need a little bit of money just to be able to fund that.
You need action for this?
Well, hold on.
Right now, we just wanted to
No,
present
permission.
the proposal, and if the court is in agreement, we wanted to get some direction as to the number of positions that the constable, the court would recommend. And once we get the direction, at a future meeting, we'll bring the actual document, the interlocal, and the specifics on the cost.
This is just, we want to get this get this going by January 1st. That's why we're coming here today, to be able to negotiate with Sharyland ISD, to be able to come to an agreement on the salaries, on the funding, because, they're going to pay the majority of it. So I need to go back with figures to them so they're able to look at it. And then if they're interested with what we present to them, then we can roll with it.
With the funding that the constable has for the 1 position in 2020, he can afford 3 given the match, but he's asking for 4 positions, which will require an additional
$14,000, $15,000, which I think is peanuts to saving a human life and having a deputy there.
I'm okay with it. So on that last one, I guess you would consider it like a grant position, so that if Sharyland would go in a different direction and you have that last individual, then his employment with us would end.
Yes, I mean,
Because
yeah,
if
when we
not-
get to that
if
point,
not,
yes.
You're going to come back
No.
to fund that, and
Right.
everybody's going to ask for another officer, and we're going
Right.
to grow again.
I can tell you, Commissioner, that I probably have, if you take all 4 precincts, all the total deputies in all 4 precincts, 5 with 1, because it's 1 precinct 1, 2, 3, I probably have the least amount of deputies that are funded through general fund. All of them are funded through partnerships, through school districts, irrigation districts, and getting funding not only from the county, but let them buy in as well. I think it's important that they also pay their fair share. So, and not put the strain on the county budget. So that's why I'm here.
But his question was, you're going to consider it a grant, so when the grant ends.
Because
Yes. We would go back. We would go back to the 1 deputy, or the 3 deputies, or no, back to the 1 deputy. Yes.
So that employment is conditional upon the term of the agreement, which was
Yeah,
going to be.
exactly.
My question to you was going to be, what kind of an initial term are you looking at? 3 years, 5 years?
We're in that right now. I don't know. I can bring back. I just want to make sure that we have permission from the court to pursue this. And once I give them numbers and get together with budget and everybody, that they agree with those numbers, then I'll bring that back to the court and we present that.
So I love this idea. We were going to do that at Westaco ISD with Westaco PD. We were going to fund the entire position, and they were going to pay for equipment, vehicles, insurances, and everything else. The only thing is, I know that, are these going to be primarily high schools and middle schools?
Actually, it's going to be 1 middle school, junior high, and 3 elementaries. And then Alton is picking up 1 elementary in their city limits.
And only because of the after-school programs, sometimes the
Well,
activities,
these are 8 to 5. This is when school is in process. So the school days are 179 school days. County days are 260. So if you take those, it's about a 70-30 cash match, a little less than that. And so now anything on top of that would be paid by overtime by the district if it comes to that.
And that's what I was going to say, is that a lot of times they do have after-school activities and hours.
Yes,
Just make
yes,
sure
that would
address
make,
the
they would
overtime
have to pay that. Like just the same thing they do with Mission PD. Now, I will tell you this, I'm not asking for any more equipment, any more vehicles. I have what it takes to be able to outfit these additional deputies. So, And it may not fly, depending on the numbers. You know, we may come back and say, you know what, they want to pay less, and it may not work out. But I think we need to make at least an attempt to see if we can meet their needs. And if it works out on both sides, then we run with it.
I'm in agreement with Commissioner Flores. I mean, I think it's a great idea, and I'll make a motion to approve. At least the permission, because you need some consideration moving forward, right?
Sir, I'm sorry.
It says discussion and consideration.
Right.
So do you need action on that?
Just direction.
Yes.
Do we pursue the three that the funding allows for? Is the court willing to provide the additional 14 to pursue 4, which is what the constable is requesting?
And just to consider again what Commissioner Cantu said, that it's conditional upon the terms of the agreement that you come up with.
Right, and would require the deputies to sign an acknowledgement to that effect.
Just like the other ones do.
Sure.
Same thing.
Okay, so.
We're good?
Motion?
Second. I think the direction is clear.
Okay, got it. I don't think we need any action. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
There's
no
action. I'm sorry?
There's no action.
There's no action with the direction.
But it says.
Pursue it.
Okay.
Right, but,
Just direction.
okay, but,
Giving him authority to go and.
right, that's why I would prefer if the court would take action just to
Okay.
put on the record, because you're giving them authority to go and negotiate something to bring back to the court. And so I think it would be appropriate if there would
Just
just
like
be.
with grants.
Right, it would just be,
But he has no, I mean, he can't make the decision.
no,
without it
exactly,
coming back.
exactly, but
He's gonna bring it back.
he's gonna bring it back, that's why. So,
No action?
Josie?
I think Valde wants
One action?
to allow him to go
Action to
forward.
proceed.
To proceed,
as
to
directed,
proceed,
something like
to
that.
direct.
Motion to approve.
Second.
To proceed as
All
directed.
those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I will tell you, Commissioners, that my office does generate almost $3 million of revenue that comes back into the county and other taxing entities. So just so you know that. All right? Thank you.
We love you, man.
That's all I had,
Hey.
Judge, Commissioners. Thank you very much.
4 million is better than 3, though.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. On behalf of Mr. Eddie Olivares, who is in Austin, I am Connie Sanchez, Clinical Care Services Administrator for the Health Department. Agenda item 14A, requesting approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement between the City of Sullivan City and the County of Hidalgo, Texas. The purpose of the agreement is for Hidalgo County Health and Human Services Department to provide inspection and permitting of OSSF disposal systems within Sullivan City jurisdiction as further described within the interlocal cooperation agreement attached herein.
Move for approval.
Second?
14B.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. 14B has been moved to the 19th of November. Dr. Ivan Melendez and Eddie Olivares were not available today. 14C, requesting approval to submit a budget amendment request for the TB State Grant Contract Number HHS 0048640001. The purpose is to add additional grant funds in the amount of $188,303. No match required.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Number 2, requesting approval to submit the renewal grant application and budget for the Tuberculosis State Program for fiscal year 2021, the allocation of $793,864, and the budget period will be in effect September 1st, 2020 through August 31st, 2021. The local match required for the fiscal year 21 budget period is $121,112.
For approval.
Second?
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
D, requesting approval to submit a budget amendment request for the Zika contract HHS 0005659600001, amendment number 2. The purpose is to add additional grant funds in the amount of $309,471. No local matches required.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
E, requesting approval of the certification of revenue by the county auditor in the amount of $121,502.15 from the Medicaid Administrative Claiming Program and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval.
Second?
All in
F.
favor? And Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
F, requesting approval of the certification of revenue of program income generated from the Medicaid Administrative Claiming Program in the amount of $86,985.77 as certified by the county auditor and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, I know it was implied, but for the record, 14B was no action. Okay, all right.
Good morning, Irene Sarmiento. Item G, 1A, approval to rescind agenda item 72650A, B, and C, which was taken on October 22nd, 2019. Requesting approval.
Move for approval. Second.
Which was what?
What happened was, it is with our URIP, we had brought it in early because the state had told us that the transfer would be on November 1st. We didn't have an amount. We do have a date now. We still don't have an amount. We're pending it, and that's the action that will be taken. So we're requesting to rescind what we did on the 22nd.
Okay. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B is discussion, consideration, and approval to draw down funds for the Uniform Hospital Rate Increase Program in the amount to be determined by HHSC instructions from the Local Provider Participation Fund with an IGT drawdown date of November 18th and a settlement date of November 19th. At this time, I don't have an amount because we're working with the Europe SDAs. We're looking at about $21 million or less. We will have that number on November 13th, and we currently have $24 million in the LPPF fund, so there is enough funds to cover it. And we'll forward everything to the auditors, treasurers, and budget as soon as we get it.
Do you want us to approve it?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C is approval of the certification of revenues as instructed by the county auditor from the LPPF fund in the amount to be determined by HHSC instructions. Requesting approval.
So move. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Item D is approval of the 2019 appropriation of funds from the LPPF fund in the amount to be determined by HHSC. Requesting approval.
So move. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item H1 is approval to renew and extend for an additional one-year period the contract for outstation assigned specialists in hospital healthcare facilities for the term 1/1/20 to 12/31/20 for the following hospitals: Doctors Hospital at Renaissance, Knapp Medical Center, Mission Hospital, Rio Grande Regional Hospital, McAllen Hospital, which is McAllen Medical, and Edinburgh Regional Medical Center. There is no budgetary impact. This is the staff that we have stationed at these hospitals so that they can do the eligibility criteria and the interviewing for our constituents.
So moved.
Thank you.
Was there any hospital that asked to be on the list that did not get on the list?
No, sir.
Okay. We have a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Pepe.
Precinct 1. 16A.
Sorry, my chief is busy at the polling place right now.
Good morning, Commissioners. 16A, Precinct 1, Commissioner David Fuentes. 16A says Precinct 1 is requesting authorization and approval to rename Mile 3.5 West Road to Pleasant View Drive for Business 83 to Mile 5 North for 911 purposes.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 16B, Precinct 1 is requesting authorization and approval to change the legal name of the following public streets for 911 purposes. 16B1 will be dedicate public street within Mile 6 Meadows subdivision from Stewart Street to Stewart Road. And 16B2, dedicate public street within Valverde Grove subdivision from Main Street to Main Grove Street.
Move for approval. Second.
For 1 and 2.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioner.
Item 18A.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Jarmin Garza, Precinct 3. We have item 18A, requesting approval to accept a counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as Parcel 29, associated with Veterans Boulevard from Abram Road to La Homa Road, with authority for county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval form.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 18B, requesting approval to accept counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as parcel 18 and 20 associated with Mile 3, Phase 1, with the authority of county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval form.
Approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. 19A.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 19A is approval of the change in funding source for the auto allowance as listed on the agenda, effective upon Commissioners Court approval and for fiscal year 2020.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19B is authorization to submit the EDC program application and affidavit for the FM 676 road project, CSJ number 1064-01-043, with authority for the county judge to sign the required documents.
Move for approval?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19C is approval for the county judge to sign the TxDOT oversight level special approval form, Part A, local government qualification statements for the Mile 10 North Road Project, CSJ 0921-02-360.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19D1 is requesting approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $626,488.93 and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19E1, discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into the Texas Vine Maintenance Grant Contract for fiscal year 2020 with the Office of the Attorney General of Texas and authorization for the county judge to sign the required documents.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And 19E2 is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $30,170.26 and appropriation of the same.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Dina Trevino for the Purchasing Department. Item 20A1, pursuant to notice provided to the public requesting acceptance and approval of the final negotiated contract with the number one ranked firm, Purdue Brandon, Fiddler, Collins, and Mott, with a fair and reasonable fee pursuant to Government Code 2254 and Article 103.0031 of the Code of Criminal Procedures, with the vendor selected on the basis of being a well-qualified law firm and demonstrated competence, qualifications, and experience in requested legal services through RFPQ 2019-103-09-16 for legal services for the collection of delinquent court fees, fines, and related costs.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, requesting approval of an order to enter into a legal services contract with Purdue Brandon, Fiddler, Collins, and Mott for the collection of delinquent court fees, fines, and related costs pursuant to the Code of Criminal Procedures, Article 103.0031.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Going on to item 20A2, presentation by Mr. Gary Looney with Alamo Insurance, Hidalgo County's group health consultant, including the input by the Court Designated Evaluation Committee in connection with responses received to the RFP Group Term Life, Accidental Death and Dismemberment for the purpose of ranking an award by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court. With that said, Mr. Looney is here to make the presentation, and I apologize, that's as big as we could do that handout.
Quick question, was this already done by the chiefs? Did they already rank them?
They had their input, yes, sir. This is the culmination of all that.
Okay, so that we're gonna get their rankings, or we're gonna go?
We're gonna
through
rank
this?
and award.
We are, or the chiefs are?
I'm going to rank you all award.
I got you.
He's gonna recommend.
I'm going to make the recommendation. Gary Linney, Judge, Commissioners, thank you. This is a result of, excuse me, an evaluation that was based on RFP number 2019-225-0904 YZV, which originally included all of the medical plan, the TPA and information, but this was a standalone bid on your own type contract that was not necessarily a part of any of the other benefits that were offered. There were 4 submissions for the group term life. They were from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, which is Dearborn National. We had MetLife. We had Securian Financial, which is also Minnesota Life, and then United Healthcare. All of them provided quotes on the group term life. The group term life is currently with Dearborn National. They requested a renewal. The results are in the spreadsheet that was provided. We went through a Chiefs Committee, went to the Insurance Committee meeting. It was conducted on October the 23rd. Each vendor presented basic life benefits and AD&D coverage through the group. There were also notifications of other benefit that were offered under the group life plan. Some of these were including will preparations, portability conversion options, repatriation, travel assistance. There was a large number of different little items that went along with the plan. Also associated with that is the accidental death and dismemberment portion of the plan. So there were additional benefits offered for in case of an accidental death. And then in addition to that were other benefits such as in a common carrier, if you're in a coma, if your body's lost and you can't be found. There was really enlightening meeting that we had discussing death and death benefits all along. After all was said and done, the benefits offered by the county right now are a $25,000 basic life insurance benefit for every full-time active employee. The premium allocations came in at enough underneath the current rate so that the county can officially or could officially increase that from $25,000 to $30,000 a year. And not per year, I'm sorry, per life. And can do that without any budget restriction. So actually have a little bit less than the overall cost to increase the benefits from the $25,000 basic to $30,000. And our recommendation from the committee was pretty much a consensus. There was two absentee votes, which we didn't get, but everybody else voted for movement to the MetLife Insurance Company on their benefit program, and also increased the benefit from $25,000 to $30,000 for each employee. So the good result from the RFP is no increase in the premium and an increase in benefits for employees. So a recommendation is that we move to $30,000 for each employee, a full-time employee, and that we accept the MetLife contract as moving forward. So moved.
Second. Now, you said no increase on the premium?
There's no increase overall in the premium.
So in the column that I'm saying total annual premium 139 for the 25, and then annual premium for the 30, 167. What does that mean?
The current premium that's being paid on an annual basis is $168,000. The MetLife quote under the $30,000 limit is $167,000 annual.
I got you. When you're comparing what we're paying today and what we're going to pay there, there's no increase. I got it. Now I got it. I was confused as to what it is.
No increase in premium, but an increase
Yeah,
in
I got it. I wasn't sure that I understood. Now I do.
Judge, I know you have a motion, but I need to abstain from.
Okay.
Motion to approve? Do
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Let the record show that Commissioner Fuentes abstained from voting.
Thank you. Great job to all the chiefs that spent a lot of time on this.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, going on to item A3, this is approval of a fire alarm system with Safeguard Fire Security and awarded vendors through the county's membership with CASB by Board Cooperative Purchasing Programs contract. As stated, the amount is $92,481.25 for county offices and buildings located at Hall Acres Road. And it was subject to payment bond, but we have received it.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
B1 is budget and management presentation scoring grid for the purposes of ranking of the sole response received by TriStar Risk Management, so as qualified to proceed to the next step of the process for the project number entitled 218, Quality Claims Administrator Services for Workers' Compensation.
This is just workers' compensation?
Yes, just alone.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
B would be the authority purchasing department to enter into negotiations and finalize an agreement for the action with a qualified ranked firm of TriStar Risk Management.
So moved.
Second.
Going on to item B2.
Hold on. I'm trying to catch up with you here just
Okay.
a minute. So who are we approving here?
TriStar.
Okay.
To enter into negotiations.
I
They're
see.
the only ones that.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
But they meet the
Opposed?
criteria.
Motion carries.
Item 2 is, A, is presentation of scoring grid for the purposes of ranking of the graded and evaluated responses received through RFP number 221, Consulting Services for Self-Funded Insurance Group Health program that we have. You've been handed the grid, which was uploaded onto the agenda. And let me go through the scores. Alamo Insurance Group, 456. Valley Risk Consulting, 453. Honest RX Consulting, 421. McGriff, Sybils and Williams, 461. Arthur J. Gallagher, 471. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their numerical scores?
Can I get a point of clarification, Joseph? So this has, from the standpoint that it's a consultant, doesn't work directly with any of the insurance groups? I know I've got an insurance conflict.
It's going to depend on the relationship.
There is no relationship with any of the
If
consultants.
there's no relationship and no income coming from any of these, then there is no conflict.
So, this was our chiefs, right? I believe that
The
were
committee is.
scores.
Yeah. What's the wishes of the court?
I'll make a motion to approve the grid.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
I have a discussion, but I think it can wait till after the vote.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I'm gonna charge you, Marty, with finding a better way to score. In this situation, it didn't affect it, but if you're gonna have a vote of an 80 and a 97, and you're gonna have some other people vote closer, whatever the score comes out to, it should be like a 1 and a 2. In other words, we need to come up with a system where, if, let's say that 4 members of the court are with one person, the way that we vote now, or the way we score now, one person can change that.
Yeah.
One person can make the decision for all 5. And so this doesn't work. Let's find a different way of doing this.
I
And
will
I've said
explore-
it before, and I've said it for 4 years.
For the tax thing,
But-
the fines and whatever it was.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
but I think even then, when we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can put 1 as 5 and really affect the entire skewing
Well,
of the ranking, you know what I mean?
Then there has
It's
to be,
just
so
as
so
bad.
what you do is get a bunch of these and look at it, because it may be where you just do 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there
you
has to be a
narrow
way.
down.
I agree with you.
Narrow the field.
Right.
And
Narrow
then
the
select
field.
from there the top 3 or the top 2. We will come up with some scenarios
We
for
need to
you.
come up with something.
Well, but in defense, and I totally agree with what both commissioners said, but sometimes you do get someone that entered the race, if you will, that's really not qualified.
Well, there's an option to throw out high and lows
Yeah.
also. We can do that.
I saw it, Judge, for one big important vote we had. It was 1-4, and the one was gonna. Yeah, it was a tie. You remember them?
No,
It was a big item.
what you're saying is absolutely true, but there are some times that you're gonna have a bidder that's really not qualified.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, going on, we took a vote on
Talk
one-
with
on
TAC,
A.
see what TAC can.
Yeah, the motion passed.
So what is it? On which one?
And on B, we have the motion and a vote?
No.
No.
Yeah, we took a vote.
Oh, on B?
Okay, now B is authority for purchasing to negotiate an agreement with the top-ranked firm commencing with number 1, and that would be Arthur J. Gallagher.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I'll
Motion-
vote against it.
Let the record show that Commissioner Flores voted against.
For the reason that the scoring didn't, different than what it was before. I thought it was going to be different.
Okay.
Commissioner, I will tell you that all the seminars I go to, it is a big topic of conversation, how to tackle the scoring.
I think you look at some history, get some of the biggest decisions we made, look through there, run different scenarios, and see how we could come up with something.
I will, Commissioner. Item C2, that's precinct 2. C1, pardon me, for precinct 2, acceptance and approval to execute the construction contract for the bid awarded on October 22nd, $16,519,063.02 with 2GS LLC, DBA Earthworks Enterprise for Dicker Road reconstruction. This is subject to the receipt of the payment and performance bonds with that review of those bonds by DA Civil Section. And there is authority to send notice to proceed by the engineer, but not unless the bonds are received and reviewed.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item D1 for precinct 3, requesting approval to purchase an Eno 338 grapple truck through Rush Truck Center by board awarded vendor, $171,634.75. Requisition as noted.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
E1, precinct 4, requesting approval to purchase the following Freightliner chassis through the county's also participation in a co-op, that's Texas Smart Pie, to be provided, that would be through Doggett Freightliner of South Texas, and this is $199,289. Requisition noted.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is authority to purchase heavy equipment detailed herein through also our membership through by board purchasing co-op. And this is for the awarded vendor being John Deere and Company, under contract number is noted, with delivery and servicing to be provided local authorized dealer, Ag Pro. Requisition noted, and that would be a total of 4 items, $127,979.18.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 3 for precinct 4 under TxDOT, acceptance and approval of change order 6 for an adjustment of estimated quantities to actual as-built quantities with details identified on change order number 6 attached herein. Give me a second here. In the agreement with Texas Cordia for 10th Street Extension Project, including authority for the county judge to sign the required documents, the net decrease was $319,690.74 after the adjustments.
Move for approval?
Second.
Can you also put down that for every signature that I sign, I get 10 cents? No?
Can you imagine? I wouldn't be here if I got 10 cents
All those
for
in
every
favor-
PO I've initialed.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And that was a great event.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for attending.
Item number 4, requesting approval of work authorization 2 as submitted by project engineer LNG Engineering with an estimated cost of $1,088,648.18 for the provision of the services as noted on the agenda. And this is for the project-specific Mile 5 located in precinct number 4.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B is pursuant to Article 14 of the Professional Services Agreement the request by LNG to engage the services of two subcontractors, ROW Surveying Services, LLC, and Ergonomic Transportation Solutions for that under work authorization 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item F1 for Sheriff's Department, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, Texas Local Government Code 262-024A7, an item that can only be obtained from one source.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B is requesting approval of sole source declaration for Action Target Incorporated for the provision of repair, replace parts, and/or equipment for Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office shooting range, with the said declaration to remain in effect until revoked by Commissioners Court.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C is approval to complete pneumatic target repair for 30 Turnac targets through the requisition as noted in the amount of $128,068.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, this is requesting authority to purchase accessories, equipment, and related supplies for the 2019 Vehicle Replacement Program from Dana Safety Supply, DBA Fleet Safety Equipment by awarded vendor through the requisition as noted in the amount of $378,208.54 to include, but not limited to, availability and market price fluctuation.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item G1, countywide services. This is presentation of the sole bid received for the purposes of award and responsible vendor, which is Rochester Armored Car Company Incorporated, meeting all specifications or requirements, and approval of the contract documents for the project title Armored Car Services.
Move for approval.
Second.
This was the tough one.
It is a tough one.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, recommending award to primary and secondary vendors submitting the lowest and best bids for, this is for grease, oil, hydraulic fluids, and antifreeze. Primary vendor would be Colt Horst Petroleum Company, as secondary vendor Arguindegui Oil Company Limited. And this is subject to the SAM.gov compliance by Colt Horst Petroleum and subject to review by the DA Civil Section. I believe they've already done that.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Did everybody sign up for open forum?
Yes, sir, we do have one participant, Ms. Yadira Gonzalez. I'll remind the audience to please respect the speaker's time at the podium. There's a 3-minute time limit, and I will advise when there is 1 minute. Ms. Gonzalez.
Buenos días, comisionados. Mi nombre es Yadira González y vengo de Álamo. Pertenezco a la colonia Studio State y vengo a darle las gracias al señor David Fuentes por recibirnos en su oficina para una duda que teníamos sobre el programa que se quiere implementar de la basura y también darle las gracias por la limpieza en mi comunidad. Muchas gracias, señor David Fuentes.
Good morning. My name is Yadira Gonzalez. I come from Precinct 1, and I just wanted to thank Commissioner Fuentes for coming together with us, with a group of leaders from Precinct 1, to address some of the issues on the sanitation program that you're trying to privatize. I also wanted to thank you for the cleaning of my colonia. And I just want to point out that I have to translate because the translator had to leave because this open forum, it takes too long, and he's only allowed to stay 2 hours. And it will be in the benefit of the commission to move the forum to the beginning because it's just like this person has to stay. It's so unpredictable when it's going to be the open forum because we never know how long it's going to take the discussion, and people has to stay here just to say thank you.
Translation?
So,
are you translating?
I'm just telling you why did I have to translate. Thank you, and I just to consider changing to the beginning of the meeting. It's much more predictable and it's much more convenient for the people to participate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Commissioners, for the record, the translator is not bound by 2 hours. So I'll have to have a conversation with our translation services provider. Thank you.
Closed session?
Yes, sir, we do.
We're not bound by 2 hours.
He's not.
Right. We're not bound by 2 hours.
Okay. The Commissioners Court will now go into closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 and 551.072, to discuss the items listed on item 22A, B, C, and D. And the time is 11:41. 6, we're back from a closed session, and the meeting is reconvened. Are there any action items to be taken?
Yes, sir. Under open session 24A, Real Estate Acquisition Corporation, for saying there's no action to be taken today. 24B, pending litigation, there's no action to be taken today. 24C, Hidalgo County versus Rosa Ortiz and Andres Garza and Pronto Insurance Company. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like for the court to take action to assign this to the DA's Civil Division, Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office for subrogation.
So moved.
Do I have a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Open session 24D, Hidalgo County versus Juan David Ramirez, Teresa Ramirez, and State Farm Insurance Company. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like for the court to take action to assign the case to the DA's office, Civil Division, Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office for subrogation purposes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
So, Judge, Commissioners, for the record, we do not have court next week. Our next court session is November 19th.
Okay, I believe that concludes all our agenda items. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
12 voices. Finished early.